All right. So today, after each group presents their claim, evidence, and reasoning, I'm going to roll the die again. And the person from the next group is going to use what we call likes and wonders. So you're going to first say to them something you liked or agreed with. Dom, you're going to want to listen to the directions here. You're going to first say something you liked or you agreed with or you learned from their presentation, from their part. When they tell you, you're going to say, oh, something that you said rings a bell with me, right? You're going to like something. You're then going to ask them a question. This is the wonder part. So it's going to sound like, I like how you wrote it so pretty and had such great handwriting. That would be a terrible example of a like, by the way. I'm giving you bad examples. Don't do it like this. But you're going to say, I like how you did it, but I wonder, and now in the wonder part, you're going to ask either something you don't understand. To be honest, this is also a place you might ask something that you do understand, but you think they screwed up, and you're trying to point out a mistake or a criticism. Or it might be, or they might have just killed it, and everything about their board looks perfect, and you're like, what am I going to say about, what am I going to ask about? And then you're going to respond with something that might extend their research. Now, like another really stupid example would be, I see how, and I like how you said that after 14 minutes, both bulbs had all 10 floating. But I wonder what would have happened if you'd have waited 20 minutes. That's what it'll sound like, but you see how that's a stupid wonder? If all 10 are floating, what do we think is going to happen after 20 minutes? They'll still be floating, dumb. Like that would be a bad example of a wonder, but that's what it's going to kind of sound like. You're going to start with a compliment and follow with a criticism or a question. You see where we're going with this? You understand the goal? What we're working on here, remember what I told you. The ultimate goal for me on this is that I can say, hey, guys, go back and do a whiteboard meeting. And I can sit over there at my desk, and none of you will even talk to me. I'm just out of it. And you're all talking to each other, asking each other's questions, and figuring out what we learned in this lab. And when you're all done, you're like, okay, we're willing to say this about this lab. Does that make sense? Now, we're not there yet, but right now we have too much of these guys are presenting to me, and all the rest of y'all are just sitting there either watching or planning your own presentation or planning your weekend. Like, it's not supposed to be a presentation from you, the groups, to the teacher. It's supposed to be a discussion amongst you that I will only chime in if you need me. Does that all make sense? Yes.
So why do you need the camera?
So that, well, first of all, I told you the other day, I'm in a class for teachers that is related to Future Prep, if you know what Future Prep is, about how we use some of those strategies in our regular classroom. And as a part of my class, I have to demonstrate that I use the strategy in my classroom. So I'm filming you using this strategy that I learned there, or adapted from there, to show how I might use this in my classroom.
Okay.
Did everybody get what we're trying to do here? All right, we're starting right here. Who's your number? Sit, throw it. 4, finally.
So our claim was that the white bulb is better than blue during the photosynthesis process. And our evidence that we collected was the blue floated none by like the time that we were done. And then the white floated 9 at the time we were done. And our reasoning was other groups, or the other group with the blue bulb had 0 also.
Okay. On a piece of paper, scrap paper, anywhere, and that's fine. Right there's fine. Write W greater than B.
Okay.
We're going to keep track of what everybody said before it's all said and done. All right, over here, you're going to respond with a like and a wonder for this group. Number 2.
I liked that that their reasoning the other group, nope, scratch that. I like their evidence, yeah. The blue light, the blue floated none. When the white light floated 9. Yep.
Can you tell me why you like that?
Because 9's bigger than 0.
Okay, because there's a big difference. It's a noticeable. Okay, I can get behind that. Good. All right. Now, what's your wonder?
I wonder. When did you notice that the time that it took to float none? Like
25 minutes.
25 minutes?
Yeah, he
Told
told the
us
end
to
of
stop
class.
after 25 minutes.
Okay.
So that's when we ended our lab.
Good. Nice job. Jesus, I think you'd been okay either way. When you started with liking their reasoning, I think that's good too. They have a strong reason there that it would certainly make me feel better about my own data if I saw the other group that did the same experiment as me got the same results, right? There's one thing you could easily like about that data. You could also easily like the fact that your data shows a big difference. My question was going to be the same thing. The directions in this lab were to go until all the leaves floated, right? I understand now that you didn't go that long with blue because 25 minutes later nothing had happened and we ran out of class time. Why didn't you go all the way to 10 with the white?
Because we ran out of class time.
That was the other day we ran out of class time? Got it. Fair enough. Good answer. That helps to understand that though. Do you know how long you went with the white?
It was like 18 minutes, right? 18?
18 to 20 minutes.
Okay. But how long, also interesting, how long did it take to get 9 to 9?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, got it. All right, good. Your group again, now you're going to explain your board. By the way, next group, please don't comment that you like their use of the yellow marker. It's literally invisible writing to the rest of us. Now you can say anything you want. 5.
The white light was better at floating the leaves than the red light.
White greater than red.
Light took 10 minutes to float all 10, and the red took 11 minutes to float all 10 of the leaves. And then white took less time to float all the leaves.
Okay? Just because I didn't hear you very clearly, will you say your data one more time, loudly?
We had all 10 leaves at all 10 leaves were floated or were floating on the top at 10 minutes with the white light and 11 minutes with the red light.
Okay, got it. All right, next group. Number 3. Is that you?
Yep.
What do you like? You have to listen, especially with them, because you can't read it off their board. What did he say that you could agree with?
How white was better than red.
All right, you like and agree with the fact that white was the better bulb. Fair, good. What did he say that you have questions about?
I don't remember how long it took for red to.
I believe he said 11 minutes for red, 10 minutes for white. What question could you ask him about his research? About their research, excuse me. What could you go beyond? If you understand what he's saying, how could you go further with that? Got to come up with something. You have to ask him, you have to have a question. You have to expand on what he's saying. You have to help him go farther in his research.
I wonder what would have happened if you used a purple light.
Spectacular. That's a great reach. That's a good idea. You could have even said, I wonder what would happen if you get a green light. You think you know, but I wonder if he would agree with what you think, right? Good. That's fine. How do you think a purple light would have affected your results? Nice. How do you think a purple light would have affected your results? Either one of you. You got it, Jesus. Either one of you.
I got it. I think that it would take 5 minutes to float all 10.
You think a purple would be twice as fast as the white or the red?
Yup.
Okay, fair enough. We don't know, so you can say anything you wanted. Yes?
Can you repeat your reasoning?
We actually don't take questions right now.
Yes, you do.
Actually. Your turn, Jordan.
Listen, I will admit, I had kind of the same thought. I had questions about your reasoning too. I would have gone to their reasoning with my question as well. You said your reasoning, what I thought was you said giving your reasoning was basically you saying something like, we got our results, or we got what we expected, or something. Was that about right?
Yep.
At very least, you should expand on that and say, we trust our data and think it's reliable because the results are what we expected. Now, that's not strong reasoning. Remember the 4 things we talked about. Do the results support scientific theory? Do they support other people's research? Do they support something we've learned in class? Do they support common sense? Like, those are things we're looking for, but I see what you were trying to do. I think what you needed to follow with is, or to lead with is, this is why we think this is reliable data. Fair?
Fair.
Okay. We are going to go to this group for an explanation. 5.
So our claim was that the clear bulb works better than the green bulb. The data we have found to support that is in 4 minutes, the clear bulb, like with the spinach, got to 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then with the green bulb, it took 5 minutes for the spinach leaves to get all 10.
Okay.
But we were not sure of this because we figured out after the experiment that my computer screen was on during, because we used computers, so the computer screen turned on, so we're not sure if that affected anything. But,
Okay.
And then we like this because it's supported to all the other groups so far. Clear is the best.
All right. Good. I need a like and a wonder. Number 6.
I like how you compared your data to the other groups with how the white is the better one. And then for wonder, I wonder if you would still get the same data with the computer screen off, like if it was darker.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder the exact same thing. I wish we could have had time to complete the experiment again, but not sure.
Do you have a sense or a guess?
I'm guessing it might affect a little bit because it was on during the green bulb test, but not the clear one. So maybe it would affect it that way. Not
Okay.
positive. But.
All right. Interesting. Explanation? Secret. 6 again.
Yay.
Lucky you.
Okay, so our claim was that the white bulb is better than the green bulb. And evidence we have to support this was that With the white bulb, all 10 of the leaflets floated in 5 minutes, and with the green bulb, in 17 minutes, only 9 of them floated, and then at 18 minutes, they started sinking again. And then we have 2 reasons. One of them is that in the simulation that the green did the worst job when we did it on our computers. And then also, this group that also did the green got the same data.
No wonder you like the fact that they agreed with the other group. Now I see what they did there. Okay, got it. 3. The die knows. The die knows what it's doing. Go ahead.
I liked that your evidence and reasoning was straight to the point and that it left little room for confusion. I wonder, however, if the light bulb was at like a longer distance, if your claim would have been the same.
Okay. Anybody but Micah has to answer this one? He's all used up.
Do you mean like farther away from?
Yeah.
I think it would have slowed it down.
Yeah, because then it wouldn't have been as, in the simulation, when it was further, sorry.
No, we keep talking over
When it
it's
was
fine.
further away, it did take longer, and also, I feel like, this is kind of like, based on what I think, I feel like it would slow down the reaction of the discs floating.
On that note, was your bulb the same distance from the water in the white and the green experiments?
We're not sure.
I think they were close. I do not think they were the same.
I don't think it's exact, but we hooked it to the same spot.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
would assume similar unless.
They weren't notably different, but they weren't measured to be the same either.
Because there was a little like part, like the little circle part, we hooked it inside of it both times.
Okay.
So
it must have
unless
been,
the
like, super
height
close.
of the circle was changed
And
during
it
a different
wasn't
group.
drastically
then-
changed.
Okay. Got it. Good enough. Explanation? 5. 5. Who's your 5?
The white ball, our claim was the white ball, like with the blue box, created more photosynthesis because it made it all like the little discs float up to the top quicker in a shorter time than the other white one with not the blue box.
A little louder for everybody, not just for the camera, but for everybody else, because I don't think everybody else knows what you're talking about, and I'm really glad you talked about it. So,
So we had 2 light bulbs, and the one in the blue box was created more photosynthesis because the discs floated to the top with a shorter time than the one that didn't have the blue box. And we say a reason like this because we're not like really sure like why it was like drastically different other than like the lights are different because our measurements were very like the same.
okay. First of all, for your sake, remember how we had white bulbs in a white box and white bulbs in a blue box? That's what they're comparing. And they're saying that the blue box white bulb, so we'll just call it white B, was better than white or white W. Because we had 2 different kinds of white bulbs. Got me? All right. You guys are responding with likes and wonders. 4.
That's
Nice.
I liked how you guys added your data, and how you explained like what was going on in the lab, like with the discs loaded up. And I wonder why your reasoning is that you guys were careful, because I feel like you guys could find better reasoning with the lab that you did.
Before you respond to that, you liked that they shared their data
I like how
and explained the lab. Like,
no, I like how they explained like exactly what they did with the lab, because somebody who didn't do the lab,
but we all did the lab.
but I
Like, I see what you're doing. I think I might look for something more substantial that you like. For example, I would say I like the fact, and maybe this wouldn't be your thing. I'm not saying you had to pick this one. I like the fact you chose to compare the 2 white bulbs. You're the only group that did that, right? You're probably the only group that did 2 white bulbs. But The fact that you compared the two white bulbs is a different approach than anybody else did. That's interesting to me. I do like your wonder, which is, I hope everybody was careful in the measurements. Like that's the bare minimum. Why is that the only reasoning you can come, let me rephrase that. Is that the only thing you have to support your claim?
We basically just thought of it like because they're two white bulbs and we noticed that the other one was taking so much longer, we just wanted to make sure that our measurements was like, I don't know, top tier.
Okay. I mean, it is a legitimate thing to say we trust our data because we were careful in performing the experiment. That's okay. And also, you don't have, excuse me, you can't say we compared our results to the other groups because there was no other group that did what you did. So that's a fair thing. It can be tough to come up with a reason to support it. My wonder is, do you have any idea why two white bulbs would be different from each other simply because of the box they came out of?
Not really, like maybe different glassware that they use or something, I don't know.
One could have been like LED, not, I don't know.
Say that again?
One could have been like LED light and like the other one.
Oh, LED and incandescent is the word we use for the other kind. Interesting. All right. Good idea. All right, next group, explanation. 4.
That's me again.
Nice.
So we said that the red bulb is better than the white bulb, because the red bulb only took 8 minutes and the white bulb took 10 minutes. And then the online simulator showed the same data as what we actually did.
Okay.
Or same results, not like the same data.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Likes and wonders. Number 5.
I like how they incorporated the data. That they
You.
collected.
Talk to them. Don't talk to me.
I like how you incorporated the data that you collected from the website, and I wonder if, I don't know, I wonder if there would have been any difference if you were able to do the lab again.
Okay. Thoughts? Are you in their group? Are you in this group?
I'm in this group.
What? Hang on.
Oh,
What do you think would happen if you did it over? Do you think it was consistent enough that you've got good answers and this is what will happen?
For the most part, I feel like if we did it again, the like measurements would have been like a little bit off, but that's like maybe the distance from with the bulb.
Yeah, I feel like they said that the red was close, like in the lab when they did it. The red bulb was like
A little
really
bit close.
close.
Not really close. Like it was closer than
Or
the
yeah,
white bulb.
like
Hmm.
so
So it was
maybe
like
if we
halfway
moved it,
through.
it would be different.
Okay. So you have, there is something there that makes you question your data a little bit because you know of an uncontrolled variable. So maybe it wouldn't be the same if we did it over. You're saying basically we'd get the same result but just different numbers.
Yeah.
You think probably the red would still be better than the white. Okay. You got red better than white?
Yep.
Okay. You guys are up for an, I'm sorry, Ruby, you had another question.
Wait. Did they say white was better than red or red was better than white?
White was better than red.
White better than red.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And they had like a difference. They had like 10 minutes and 9 minutes, and they have 8 minutes and 10 minutes, which are both like really similar. So I wonder if like we did the experiment again with just the red and white like multiple times, because since they're both different but they're also so similar, like I feel like it could be easy to get different results.
And a lot of times if you find opposite results but really close to the same, maybe it's a tie, right? So that you're suggesting that might be a possibility.
Right.
Interesting. Okay. And by the way, when you say 8 and 10 minutes, is that how long it took for all the discs to float?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right, explanation from your group. 1.
That is me. Okay. So, we said white light works better than blue light. Our evidence was that we did both for 20 minutes because we ran out of class time. 8 were floating with the white light and 0 were floating with the blue light. at 20 minutes. And we think that our claim might be wrong because the second day when we did the blue light experiment, the hole puncher wasn't working as well. And so we had to like hit it against the table to get the spinach to come out. The spinach was also like more wilted, so that could have had something. The results were also completely opposite than we did the computer lab. And we did have more foam on the top of our beaker than we did with the white light.
All right, fair. We're going to end with you giving me likes and wonders on this group. 2.
I like how you guys had the same data as us. How blue had 0 discs floating. I wonder if your hole puncher was actually working, or if you tried different leaves.
I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm just trying to understand your question. So they said their hole puncher wasn't working.
Yeah. I wonder if it was working, if it would have worked better.
Oh, I missed that part. I'm sorry. I thought you were just questioning whether or not they knew if it was working or not. You're saying, I wonder if you think it would have changed the results if the hole puncher had worked differently.
Yeah.
I think it might have because it said in the procedure to like try not to touch the leaves and like smacking the hole puncher against the table to try and get the leaves out. Seems like it might have, like jostled them around.
Okay.
Yeah, because they stuck.
Got it. All right, good. Nice job. Thank you. First of all, quick, I'll try to make this quick. The first thing is the likes and wonders thing. You got better as time went on, didn't you? Did you kind of start to see how it works? Now I have a confession to make. I freaking hate likes and wonders. I hate it. You don't know this, but a few years ago, it became cool in education circles to do this likes and wonders thing all the time. And especially our administrators, they like evaluate us all the time, right? Well, when they evaluate us, they would write, I like, I wonder, every single time. Everything you saw was a like and a wonder, a like and a wonder. I mean, I like that you came to school today. I wonder why you wore jeans. I like that you taught all your students. I wonder if you taught them the same. Like, it was always like and wonder, like and wonder. And if you do it every single time and you use those words every time, it sounds super cheesy and fake. Did it get a little annoying as we went around? Yes. Imagine if the new rule in this class was every time you spoke, you had to start with a like and end with a wonder. You'd stop talking. Well, most of you would stop talking. Some of you would never stop talking. But anyway, in all seriousness, you don't want to use like and wonder every time you talk. But can you see where if you're going to criticize, what doesn't hurt to start with a little compliment? Have you ever noticed me when I call on you in class or when we're whiteboarding or even when we're just working one-on-one and I say something you're like, well, you're on the right track with this part, but I think we need to work on this a little bit. Or I see you were paying attention and you got the idea, but what about this? Do I ever talk like that? Yes. I just leave the word like and wonder out and try to say it more naturally. But yes, I try to point out the stuff you're getting, the stuff that's good. And right now we're all having a discussion, so we don't even know what's good. But we can point out the things we agree with. We can point out the things that make sense to us, and then draw attention to the things we want to ask questions about. Does that make sense? So the actual like and wonder protocol is freaking annoying. But the idea of talking to people when you're working with the groups and using that idea is a good one. You got me on that? Which brings me to the last thing. Your claims so far are white is better than blue, white is better than red, white is better than green, white is better than green, blue-white is better than white-white, white is better than red, and white is better than blue. So what overall final claim can we make as a group? Allie.
White is better than the colored, white bulbs are better than the colored bulbs.
Can we all agree to that one?
Yeah.
Great. But that leaves me a big question. What about the colored bulbs? Blue, red, or green? Which one's next best? Which one's worst? What order do they fall in? Don't talk to me, talk to each other.
Well, I think red would be the second best because I can't read their data, but for you guys, you said, yeah, I was gonna say it was like super close, whereas for us it was almost 4 times as long.
Right, and for blue it was not as in.
Yeah.
That one.
That's what I find weird is that on the simulation, blue did the best, but when we did it here, it was like, oh, there's nothing working.
It was the worst.
And my sister has blue lights. That's not true. There's like a few alive.
A few. The point is
She
a
only
few.
had it, so it's like that.
So, hang on, you do it, I love this, but the one thing we still need to do is be better at taking turns and making sure we hear each other. I'm not sure what that whole thing was that just happened there. You made a mumble about blue lights and then we dropped the board on the floor. I want us all to be a part of that. I want us taking turns talking so we can hear, but I heard good conversation. Now with that conversation, what else can you say about the colored bulbs? I feel like you just...
Maybe they're faulty.
They suck.
Like the blue one, kind of a greenish color.
I can back that up.
Do we have...
I agree with this thing.
So the question I'm going to... So I like that you made a hypothesis on this. Do you have any evidence to support that claim?
Well, in my eyes, it looked green instead of blue. Once the light was turned on.
Is that evidence?
My
Also, is that evidence that has any impact at all on which bulb does the best photosynthesis?
Well, maybe if mine looked green and then the green one should have produced the same amount because they look the same color.
Yet it didn't, correct?
I don't know. Who had green?
You might just be colorblind.
I'm not.
No,
What?
it was
very.
We had just combined floating for 17 minutes.
Oh.
And then they all sunk.
Oh,
So we didn't get.
we didn't have any. So when they're all sunk.
But how much?
Wait. So your hypothesis is that the blue bulb was the same as the green bulb.
Yeah, because.
Because the blue bulb, because your blue bulb, whether it looked green or not, floated 0,
Yeah.
and theirs floated 9.
Well, and then they all sank. So at the end.
How many did you float before yours sank?
0.
So you're the same as theirs?
I mean, to an extent, at the end they were all the same.
How many did you float?
0.
How many did you float?
9.
So they're
But
the
then
same?
But then they all sank.
at the end.
How many did you float before they sank?
0.
How many did you float before they sank? So that's the same?
But at the
But
end,
at the end, the end was the same.
when you're measuring.
Correct. But the beginning happened, the middle happened too.
Yeah.
How many did you float?
0.
So you're going to continue to claim that yours is the same as theirs?
No, at the end it was the same.
Okay.
That was my claim. It was.
No, it wasn't your claim. Your claim was that your blue bulb was actually green. It didn't do anything like what theirs did. So you don't have evidence to support that claim.
I just did. I told
No, you didn't. I'm trying to tell you what you're calling evidence isn't evidence.
Keep going, Blake.
Another thing is that in theory, all of them were the same at the end because all of the leaves sank once you took them. Like all of the leaves would have sank either way. So what you're saying is that.
But was your light still on when they sank?
Yes.
Yeah.
But in theory, all of them would have sunk either way when the light is still on.
After time,
After
for
a
a
long
long
time.
period of time, they are all going to
Mr.
sink.
Miller.
Like with blue, they didn't end up floating at all. So at the end, none of them would have, all of them would have sunk because none of them floated in the first place.
Okay, all right. I got one more and then we're going to wrap this up.
So, if they're so insistent that blue light is.
Oh, wait, we're not. I'm going to cut you off because there's no more need to argue with Blake because he's just being difficult right now. Are you trying to argue with Blake?
No,
Okay, go. Ed.
I feel like there could be a similarity to them because they both ended up the same. Maybe it's just a similarity.
Oh, she's supporting you.
Like not the same thing, but like maybe some, like that's the same.
I feel like the
All right, clear your boards.
Why do